Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Society of Germantown. My name is Maggie Burge Caracappa, and my pronouns are she, they. We are a Unitarian Universalist congregation united in a common purpose to make love real in our lives and in the world. We are diverse in our beliefs, atheist and agnostic, believers and seekers, and we welcome you here no matter your race, your class, your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your family structure, your job, your health. No matter our differences, we know that we are all a part of the interdependent web of life. Whether this is your first, 5th, 15th, or 50th visit, we invite you to introduce yourself to someone at the welcome table, and they would be happy to answer any questions you have about this congregation or Unitarian Universalism. Please complete a visitor card and join us for fellowship and coffee in the dining room through this door following service. Gender-neutral restrooms can be found at the bottom of the stairs in the back of the sanctuary, and gendered restrooms are through this door and down the hall. Use whichever feels right for you. For our announcements today, please note that the usual New Moon Walk, which had been scheduled for this afternoon, has been canceled due to the holiday and the cold. Also, due to the darkness and the cold, Lincoln Drive visuals are now on winter hiatus. But while there may be less happening outside, inside things are humming. Please look over the upcoming events on the back of today's order of service, and especially note that the deadline for ordering poinsettias is this Thursday. Next Saturday morning, gather for the special community event of caring for this piece of land, raking the many leaves from the trees we are blessed to have. A light lunch will be served, so please let us know that you'll be here with your rakes, gloves, leaf blowers, tarps, and kids. As a reminder, there are no CSD programs today. Your children are welcome to join us in the entire service. As always, our wiggle room in the rear of the sanctuary is available for all who need to get the wiggles out. And now, as we deepen into worship, I ask that you silence your cell phones and allow yourself to be present for this time. But please, don't silence your children. Their noises and sounds are welcome here. Our call to worship this morning is Committed to Respond by Lynn Harrison. Committed to respond to the call of a wounded world, we join together this day with loving hearts, hands, and minds, embracing the interconnected web of water, air, and earth. We light a fire of sustaining hope, ever bright with love and justice. May we bring forth this day new wisdom, strength, and courage to create a new world not of wealth, but well-being. A world of new peace and abundance for all. As we give thanks for this earth, our shared and singular home, may we dedicate ourselves to its ongoing care, rising to the calls deep within us and all around us. May we respond today and always with courage and with love. Now, Susan Bacchius will light our chalice. If you would please join me in the unison words printed in your order of service. We light this chalice, the beacon that calls us to love, to justice, to a deepening of the spirit. Now please rise in body or spirit for our first hymn, number 163, For the Earth Forever Turning.
Good morning. My name is Amy Burge Caracappa, and I'm going to do the time for all ages. So I invite the children to come forward. Young at heart, any children that want to come forward, please do. I was planning to sit down, but I think that's maybe not a great idea this morning. So I'm going to do this from here. Come on up, come on up. Hi. Hello, my name's Amy. Yes, no, you're coming up. Come on up. My name's Amy. I'm going to stand, though, because I'm not that bendy today. All right? You can stand or sit or lie down, whatever you want to do. You know what? Yeah, give me a chair. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, so, come on, yeah. So I don't have a book here. I've got this piece of paper, and I want to know if anybody can tell me what this picture is on the. There's birds, and what are the birds? Okay, yes, and what are the birds doing? They're flying in a V formation. All right. Flying to warmer lands for the winter. All right, great. That is great. I'll tell you why. All right. Everybody ready? I think I'm ready. The Wawa Clan, told by Bob Redhawk, translated into Lenape by Louise St. Amour. Fact 1. As each bird flaps its wings, it creates uplift for the birds following. By flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds 71% greater flying range than one flying alone. 71% greater. That's a lot more. Yes. Lesson 1. People who share a common direction and sense of community can get where they are going quicker and easier because they're traveling on the strength of one another. Fact 2. When the lead goose gets tired, it rotates back into the formation and another goose flies at the point position. Right. Lesson 2. It pays to take turns doing the hard tasks and sharing leadership. So when you're doing something hard, it's good to take turns and to share the leader. Fact 3. The geese in formation honk, just like that, from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. Lesson 3. We need to make sure our honking from behind is encouraging and not something else. Right, honk, 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 honk. Like, yeah, let's go. Very good honking. All right. Fact 4. When one goose gets sick or is shot down, 2 geese drop out of formation and follow it down to help and protect. They stay with it until it's able to fly again or it dies. Lesson 4. If we have as much sense as geese, we too will stand by each other in difficult times, as well as when we are strong. The end. Thank you. All right, we can go back to our seats, everybody. Thank you.
We share the plate this Sunday with the Lenape Nation of Pennsylvania. The LNPA is dedicated to increasing awareness of recognition by the Pennsylvania Commonwealth, the only state that has never recognized the Lenape peoples. The Lenape offer a unique view of the history of Pennsylvania, educating and re-educating about a story often erased, but which must be authentically retold. This plate recipient was nominated by Margaret Thompson, Rob Seitz, and myself. Please give generously, as we have found that the more we give away, the more that comes our way. To give in cash or check, please drop it in the plate as the ushers pass by. To give by text, please follow the instructions on the back cover of your order of service.
Far beyond the grasp of hands, or light to meet the eye, past the reaches of the mind, there find the key to nature's harmony, in an architecture so entwined. Like the birds whose patterns grace the sky and carry all who join in love expanding, the message of peace will rise in flight, taking the weight of the world upon its wings, in the oneness of everything. Peace is in the dance of trees who stir before the first breath of wind is yet perceived. Trust in the song becoming one with the dance, and all mysteries can be believed. Songs of lives long past that touch our own are written in the earth, ever giving, and now to maintain the harmony gives to us all lives worth living, for the oneness of everything. Still we seek to find a truth that we might understand and reduce to terms defined. Vast and immeasurable time and space, also overwhelmingly designed. Oh, passing years, just might I know the faith that winters in the heart to be reborn in spring, to hear and to feel the pulse of life enters my soul as a song to sing of the oneness of everything.
A prayer of thanks. Creator, your breath I hear in the winds, I speak humbly. Creators whose voice I hear in the four wings. I ask you humbly, and look upon us and take pity on us. I am grateful for the grandfathers, the grandmother of the four directions, grandfather of the east, eagle spirit. Look upon us and have pity. Grandmother of the south, grandfather fire, watch over us, have pity on us. Grandfather of the west, the thunder spirits, watch over us, have pity on us. Grandfather of the north, snow boy, watch over us, have pity on us. Thank you. They exist, those spirits, around me, around us, for what I see and cannot see. Creator, thank you. They exist. Mother Earth, the sun, the night, the moon, those stars, and all that exists. Thank you. They exist, those birds, those four-leggeds, those two-leggeds, which we call humans, those insects, and those fish. Thank you, Creator, for our sacred pipe, the smoke mix, and the herbs, and all that you give us to use. Thank you for the ancestors who walked here before us and left this place in a good way. Thank you, they exist, the relatives, those elders, those children, and those. Our word for thank you is Wanishi, and when we end a prayer, we say it 12 times. You're welcome to join in with me. Wanishi, 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 ho.
At this time, we invite you to contribute your joys and sorrows to the bowls of water at the front of the sanctuary. Choose a smooth stone or a pebble and place it in the water to absorb your pain or ripple out with your joy. Sterns will play as we process. Chief Blue Jay will now place a pebble for Dave Dearden and his family in sorrow at the passing of Dave's father, John R. Dearden. Mr. Dearden died on November 2nd, 2024, at the age of 94. And for Mary Kleina, our dedicated vigils organizer who has contracted COVID. She doesn't need any help at the moment, but would like to receive good wishes from the congregation. We hold them in our hearts at this time. Chief Blue Jay will now place a smooth stone in joy for Reverend Hannah and Livia Capaldi and Big Sister Tony with the arrival of baby Carmen on November 27th. We hope their joy is doubled in community. Finally, Chief Blue Jay will place one smooth stone and one pebble into the water on behalf of all of those joining us online. Please remain seated as we all sing Spirit of Life, after which we will share in a moment of silence. The holidays are upon us. When it comes to this time of year and the opportunity to spend time with family, I can't help but be reminded of the people I have lost, especially my mother, Joan, my grand family, the the friends who have loved and supported me over the years, and this family here at USG. When I come through these doors, I know that I will find comfort and support, people who are happy to see me and want to know how I'm doing, people to hug and who will hold my hand if things seem hard. And not only will I find that among the people who are sitting here in these pews, I will find it from the pulpit and the leaders of this congregation. This beloved community is a beacon for me and a place of warmth and healing that I feel lucky to be able to give and receive on a weekly basis at least. Please rise. Wait a second. I have it backwards in my script. Do not rise. Now the choir will sing the anthem.
Good morning. My name is Sarah Fraser. My pronouns are she, her. I'm going to read a poem by Denise Lowe, who is a Lenape and Cherokee poet and professor. It's called Walking with My Delaware Grandfather, and Delaware is the European name that was given to the Lenape. Walking home, I feel a presence following and realize he is always there. That native man with coal-black hair who is my grandfather. In my first memories, he is present, mostly wordless, resident in the house where I was born. My mother shows him the cleft on my chin, identical to his. I am swaddled and blinking in the kitchen light. So we are introduced. We never part. Sometimes I forget he lodges in my house still, the bone house where my heart beats. I carry his mother's framework, a sturdy structure. I learn his birthright. I hear his mother's teachings through what my mother said of her. She kept a pot of stew on the stove all day for anyone to eat. She never went to church, but said you could be a good person anyway. She fed hobos during the 30s, her back porch a regular stopover. Every person has rights, no matter what color. Be respectful. This son of hers, my grandfather, still walks the streets with me. Some twist of blood and heat still spark across the time bridge. Here, listen. Air draws through these lungs made from his. His blood still pulses through this hand.
So I was asked to give a sermon, but we are storytellers. So I'm going to tell you a story. It's called The Prophecy of the Four Crows. It was said a fox would be set loose on the earth. Also said 4 crows will come. The first crow flew in harmony with the Creator. The second crow tried to clean the earth and became sick and died. And the third crow said, I don't want to end up like my brother, so he hid. And the fourth crow said, I need to stop hiding. I need to get back in my original tent with the Creator and fly in harmony again with all the other two-leggeds. And that's the story of my family, the ones that hid. And we were taught 10,000 years ago to take care of this land. And we can never get back to our original tent with the Creator, because when we first were here, it was just us and nature. Things are a little different now. And then the Europeans came over, and they didn't really understand us, and we didn't understand them. And that's when our life was turned into chaos. We spoke one language, they spoke another language. We tried to trade with them, and we were selfish. And we see the animals as our brothers and sisters. And due to our selfishness, because we traded, we almost had our brother beaver became extinct. So with that being said, also, William Penn was our friend. Unfortunately, his sons and grandsons, not so much. William Penn really did try to understand who we were, but after he crossed over and then his sons and grandson became in control, they didn't see much use of us. And then there was a thing called the walking purchase. And that's when they had this mastermind plot to take our hunting land from us. And we never understood it because we didn't understand about land ownership. And also, when they talked about the walking purchase, their way of walking and our way of walking was totally different. We would walk a little bit, smoke our pipe, kill the animal that we were going to eat, and do it throughout the day. That doesn't come up to too many miles. So after that happened, we realized we really weren't wanted here, and a lot of us were forced out of here, and they made the trek across Pennsylvania to Ohio, and there's recognized tribes that ended up in Oklahoma and Wisconsin and even up in Canada. But my family decided to blend in, to marry into the German families, or to go deeper into the woods. And then we realized that we lost sight of who we were since we had to cut our hair, we couldn't speak our language. And that's why I'm here today, to let you know that we need to be caretakers of this land. And that's our stewardship. Each person here has a choice to make. Each person has the power to take care of this land. We were always taught, keep everything in balance, harmony and peace. Where you see a good plant, right next to it is a bad plant. If you ever heard of that plant called poison ivy, right next to it, jewelweed grows. If you break open the stalks of the jewelweed, you rub it on you, and it takes away the itch of the poison ivy. When you look at a beautiful rose, before you get to the rose, there's thorns. So there's always ups and downs, and you just have to know how to get through it. We see the forest as our lungs. Without the forest, we can't breathe. They provide oxygen and photosynthesis. They also make the balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide. So just before you cut down a tree or take too many plants out of your yard, think about what kind of effect it's going to have on everyone. And when I mean everyone, because somebody asked us once, how many people are in your family? I couldn't tell you. There's too many to count. If you count the insects, you count the creepy crawlers, you count the plant nation, you count the rock people, you count the four-leggeds, the fin ones. There's just too many to count. So before you do something to this earth, take a moment and reflect, what am I doing to my brothers and sisters? Because we all have a choice. Also, we have another story. It's about the good wolf and the bad wolf. And we each have two wolves on our shoulder. And it was said a long time ago, there was a young boy, and he was out in the woods playing with a new toy. And two of the other fellow Indians of the young boys saw his toy and decided to break it. The little boy was sad. He went back to his grandfather. He said, "Grandfather, these young boys, they broke my toy. I didn't do anything to them." He said, "Well, son, I must tell you about the two wolves. We each have one on our shoulders. Every day, you make choices. You just have to figure out what wolf you want to feed. So what wolf do you want to feed for our environment? Also when we walk, our ancestors are underneath our feet. So we walk gently upon Mother Earth. So just keep that in mind throughout your daily adventures, what you can do to be a better caretaker. And I am far from the best. I am human. All humans make mistakes. And I drive a car. I have modern technology. But I really try my best what to do, especially during this time right now. When I drove through the last month, through the Lenape-Hoken, that's the land of our people, I went over so many bridges. I looked out, and many of the streams and the lakes and the ponds lost their water. And even before that happened, I have a dehumidifier in my basement. I use that water to water my houseplants. And even since the drought was on back in the summer, I made more effort to use whatever water I could repurpose. I try to plant native plants. I try to grow our native corn. Because wherever you come from, get to know your family history, because you get to know who you are through your family recipes, through your family stories. You find out why you're here and what's your purpose. And my purpose is to be a caretaker. So Wanishi Aho.
Please rise in body or spirit for congregational hymn number 1064, Blue Boat Home. As we extinguish our chalice, please join me in unison with the words printed in your order of service, followed by our sung response. We extinguish our chalice, but the flame remains in us as we live into the mission of this congregation, building beloved community with compassion, service, and empowerment.
Please take more time to be a caretaker of this land. What you put into the earth and the rivers, we put into ourselves. You can make a difference. We're all part of the Wawa clan.